figure. We're going to go up to this button right here, File, and we're going to hit New Design. When you hit New Design, you still have your cube over here that we saved before. So if you want to close it, you can. Mine wasn't closed, so I'm just going to save it. User save is just fine. It just saves it under the versions. So now I have a new figure. Just remember to always save your figures when you're done with it. So I'm going to start by saving. I have my new design. I'm going to hit save because I don't like the word unsaved as my title. I'm going to call this 2.2. I'm going to call this solids, and then I'm going to put my last name. Notice it's saving under my project, Engineering Valentino, and it's saving under my lesson 2.2 still. So I just hit save, and now I have this. Now, as you can see in this problem, it's a little bit different than the other ones. I have 3 different things that I'm going to make. They are going to be 3 different components. Now, here's the key. First thing, check your document centers. Make sure you're in inches. If you're not in inches, go to change units and change them to inches right now. All right, you all should be in inches, though, as long as you created, use it every time. Now, I am going to go to right up here under my name, 2.2 Solids Valentino. I'm going to double click and I'm going to make 3 components. So my first component over here is going to be this one right here, which is just a prism. So I'm going to take the name and I'm going to call it Prism. Okay, hit OK, and it's right there. Now I'm going to create all 3 components at the same time. Now here's the key. Do not leave this little eyelet shaded in. Go back up to where your name is in the save file and click that one. Now when you switch that over, it switches the active components. If I did it here and I created another new component here and I said this is my component 2, as you can see it juts out. It becomes part of this prism, and I don't want that. If you made this mistake, you can just simply press Control Z, and what that does is that undoes your problem. But we're going up here. We're going to make a new component from our original piece. This one's going to be called Triangular Prism. And now you notice these two pieces are right in line with each other. The last thing I'm going to make is down here. This is our cylinder. So I'm going to go back up, make my main file, the active component, create the new component here, and I'm going to call this one my cylinder. So I got all 3 in a line ready to go. Now, you can go back to your active component, but the first thing I want to make is my prism. So I'm going to highlight the little eyelet next to prism. And now everything I'm going to do now is my prism. All right, now the prism is a pretty easy one to sketch. It's similar to the cube. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the new sketch button, and we're going to sketch the top of the cube again. Building from the bottom up is fine. If you want to build the front, back, you could do that as well, but bottom up's pretty easy. I know by looking at here, I'm looking at the dimensions of my cube. I know the depth is 0.5, and I know the width is 1 1/8, and I know the height is 3 1/2. So since I'm building the bottom, I need 3.5 and I need 0.5. So I'm going back to my 2-point rectangle. I'm going to use my origin. And right from here, I'm going to drag out a little bit. And I'm just going to put in 0.5, which is my 1/2 inch. And then I'm going to hit the tab button. And I'm going to put 3.5, which is my, 3.5 is my height. I'm going to put 1.125, which is my width. All right, I hit enter. If you want to zoom in and check it out, you can. If you want to make these come a little closer. And once again, this 0.5 right here is this piece right here. The 1.125 is my width. I'm going to finish my sketch, and I'm going to hit the home button. I'm going to zoom out. So what I have here right now is I have the bottom of my prism, or I could have the top of my prism, it doesn't matter. But now I want to give it its height, which is 3.5. So I hit the extrude button. I'm going to extrude this one. I just pulled up a little bit. Okay, I'm in the positive, and then I hit 3.5. Enter. Now, it goes crazy off the page, so I just go down here, and I pinch out a little bit. And if you put 2 fingers on the trackpad, and lightly, you can slide it back and forth and actually move your figure. So 2 fingers pinching and unpinching, zooms in and out. 2 fingers on the trackpad, moving back and forth, moves your figure around. Another way to change the view is if I go up here, and I press and hold on the cube. As long as I'm holding this, I can zoom and look around and see the different pieces. I really want to go back to the original one. I hit home. I want to zoom out a little bit. I pinch out. All fun things to do. So anyway, I've made my prism, and now I'm going to make my triangular prism. The key to this is I'm not going to click on this anymore. I'm going to click on the new button, which is right here. Now when I do that, my other prism should go invisible, where you can kind of still see it. All right, now with the triangular prism, we can't really go from the bottom up, because when I go up, it looks like a triangle. So when I sketch this one, I'm going to have to sketch from the, guess it, the front. So it looks a little bit different. Now here's the key. When you sketch this, you don't really want to click on here, because that means you're clicking on the rectangle. So just click anywhere else. All right. Also, when you do this, you really don't want to use the origin again, because you'll be drawing on top of your prism. We can undo it later on if you really want to. Let's just do it like you did that, because a lot of people messed that up. So I'm going to click on my line. This is the line button. The line button is how you'll make your triangle, because there is no triangle button. This is a mirror, not a triangle. So I clicked on my line. I'm going to click on my origin. And the reason I use the origin is I can go up 90 degrees easy, because I know a triangle, rectangular prism, 290 degrees. The height is 1.125, and then I hit enter. All right, so you see you have your height. I'm going to hit line again, and I am going to go click, I clicked on the wrong point. Anytime you click on the wrong point, and as you can see it's the wrong point, I can hit escape, and I can redo it. So I click on line, I'm going to click on my origin, and then I'm going to go over, make sure I'm at 90 degrees, and I'm going to hit 1.125, hit enter. And now notice I have one piece, two piece. Well, to create my triangle, I have to connect them. Connect the one point to the second point, and as soon as you do that, as long as all your points are connected, to get out of this, you press escape, you will see this light up blue. If it doesn't light up blue, it means you didn't connect your pieces, which means something's messed up. I can hit finish sketch, and I can hit the home button. Now, as you can see, I'm attached to this rectangle right now, which is not a big problem, but it's annoying. But I can just hit extrude. Now, when I extrude, I'm not going to want to extrude through the rectangle, so I'm going to want to extrude the other way. So instead of going 1.125, I'm just going to zoom out a little bit here. I'm going to go negative 1.125. That'll make sure I go to the left. All right? And when I do that, I have my figure. All right? If I go look to see what I did so far, I can see both figures are right there. They're touching. That's okay. Not a huge deal. We'll make light of it. All right? We'll move everything around later. Now we're going to create our cylinder. So when we do our cylinder, everything else disappears, and we're going to pretend like it's not there. Like I said before, we're going to move everything later. Now the cylinder right here, what you're obviously going to do is you're going to draw a circle, and then you're going to extrude it up. So once again, I'm going to hit sketch button, and I'm going to sketch from the top. Now because we're drawing a circle, you don't have to use the origin. I could draw this circle anywhere. That way it won't give me a big problem. So I'm just going to click up here somewhere. And like I said, instead of sketching on the origin and overlapping everything, I'm just going to hit this button right here. It's a center diameter circle. Now when you create circles, there's different types you can use. You can use center diameter, 2-point, 3-point, tangent, all that stuff. The center diameter is the best one. I'm just going to put it over here. It doesn't really matter where you put it. And when I pull it out, our diameter is going to be 1.125, 1 1/8 of an inch. Hit enter. And now what I'm going to do is I am going to hit finish sketch, and I'm going to hit the home button. Now from here, I need my extrude. How high do I want to extrude it? The height is 2.313. So I pull it up a little bit, 2.313, and I hit enter. And now you got your cylinder. Now in order to look at all my pictures, I go back to the original one and I click on the active component. Once I click this, I can see all three pictures. Now, if you want to move them apart, because I don't want them touching, this is the move button right here. All right? What the move does is it allows you to move, rotate any of these figures. So when I click on move, all I'm simply going to do is click on that, and I want to move this. Let's move him out of the way. So I click on that. I'm moving the whole body. Now I could do a couple things with this. I can move it up. All right? I can move it to the right. I can move it to the left. Left looks good. I can move it front. I can move it back. These little buttons here, these are rotates. So I could rotate it if I want to. And you can rotate it any degree you want. All right? So if I move this here, they're kind of away from each other. Now if I hit the home button, there you go. I can look at them from the front. I go, wait a second, I don't want my piece all the way down here under this. I go, you know what, I'm going to move this up. So you can just move it from one of these views. And I go, oh yeah, I want it to be even with everything else. So you can move it up and even. Do you have to? No. But now when I do this, oh no, now I messed up. Now it's inside my cylinder. Well, I can move my cylinder. Maybe I want to go with a front view. That doesn't help me out. I can go, okay, let's go, keep on going around. Back view. Yeah, sure. So I'll move my cylinder. Where do I want to move my cylinder? Let's just move it to the right a little bit. So we're not in here. We'll get it right over here. Now nothing's touching. I can hit this, and then there we go. I could drag it here to make it look kind of nice. And I got my 3 pictures. Now on top of this, I'm going to give you a little bonus lesson here. If I want to make these look a little different, what I could do is I can double click on one of these pictures and I could change its appearance. When you do that, what will happen is a new menu will come up here and you could change what it's made of. You can change the color, but say I just want to change the color. If I duplicate these pictures in the design, say I want 3 different colors, now I have 3 things I can use. I can edit each one and then change each color. All right, so say I want to make a red one. Now when I go to the next one, I'm going to edit this color. Say I want to make this one like an aqua blue. Well, that didn't change anything. Say I want to make this one a yellowish. Well, that didn't change anything either. Well, to change them, you just take the color or the figure and you can just drop it on. I could take the color or the figure and just drop it on. And then all I have now is, now I have 3 different figures here that are 3 different colors. I could drag them under here. I could press Command-Shift-4 and I can screenshot my figures, and that's what I'm going to upload. So right now you just successfully completed the second activity from 2.2. And now we just have 1 to go. Congratulations.